Happy Friday. Yet again, we're back for another Fridays with Fidelman. I'm Cheryl Fidelman, the Conscious Codependence Coach. And today I'm going to be talking about what I call the Codependent Mask. And I'm going to be talking about this idea or theory of mine of the Codependent Mask for a long time. There's so much that I have to say about this, and it pretty much covers my entire world of distinctions and my entire conscious codependence recovery methodology. It's this codependent mask is stapled throughout all of it. So I'm going to talk about my idea called the Codependent Mask. And this is going to be the topic for our free and monthly conscious codependence class next Wednesday that you'll have an opportunity to register for. So, all right, the Codependent Mask, here we go. I've seen this with many people who identify as codependent, who may not identify as codependent, but know that they have some codependent tendencies. And particularly with my demographic, the overachievers and analyzers who identify as codependent. The codependent mask is huge because for a lot of my demographic, they're at work, highly achieving, and nobody would know that what's going on behind their eyes, what's going on in their head, what's going on behind their codependent mask is a whole lot of anxiety, a whole lot of OCD, a whole lot of thought, a whole lot of rethinking, conversations that just happened, replaying them in their mind. And the achieving is also a huge way of proving that which we couldn't prove as a kid. Also, the proving can be for some of us like a hamster on the wheel. That the proving is the mask itself. Because as children, for those of us who have this particular traumatic identity, that we're so used to being in a state of proving, there's actually no end to it. There's no satisfaction. Like, oh, I just proved that thing. I'm good. I'm safe now. That actually the proving is just the consistent way of being. You may prove something, then you find something else to prove about yourself. Then you find something else to prove about yourself. And also, the overachieving is also another way of moving ourselves away from our inner world. So we're achieving, and which gives us the opportunity to ignore the mountain of stuff that's screaming at us on the inside. And this is the codependent mask. We create an identity for ourselves that for a lot of us, it's a nice person, that identity. It's a nice person, works decently with others, goes above and beyond, stays later at work, takes on tasks that might not even be in their job description or jurisdiction to take on. And so a lot of that is the proving. And for some of us who are overachievers, the proving and the doing and the high operations at work are either putting at bay the internal anxiety. Just being busy puts our inner world at bay, or it makes our inner world louder. We do more, inner world gets louder. We do more to try to quiet the inner world, and it just gets louder anyway. And so we're doing, we're achieving, we're proving, thinking that we are going to gain some sort of honor or recognition or validation outside of us. But really, the more we do, the more the desire for that inside of us increases. Some overachievers stay at work late because they know once they walk out that door, their mind is waiting for them. Or the problems at home are waiting for them. And it's just much easier for them to move through their day at work than it is at home. Why? Because the codependent mask oftentimes works so much better at work than at home, because our home life or our personal life is constantly poking at us, triggering us, trying to get in there. It's constantly seeing us. It's constantly trying to gain some sort of reality or authenticity or connection from us. It's challenging us with almost everything that we have, from our family to our spouses to our children to our friends. Or for some people, isolation is a huge thing, and the pain of going home in silence and isolation is so loud and so intense. It's just so much easier to go to work with the mask and stay busy. This codependent mask for a lot of us was created by what I call, as children, not having an accurate emotional response to a stimulus. And so what I mean by that is, for a lot of us, there was a lot of things going on at home that caused our childhood trauma, from angry parents to different kinds of abuse to things more subtle, like just not being seen or believed or validated or being gently ignored, that for a lot of us, we put on a face that didn't match our inner world. So we had all this stimulus of pain coming at us, and what we showed was a face of, it's cool, I'm cool, we're cool, I'm fine. Or let me help, let me please, let me help take care, because I don't feel safe. So instead of feeling the unsafe feeling, I'm going to do anything I can for you so that you can calm down and we can all feel safe. So our mask, our face, that which interfaces with other people, that which people see, is not demonstrating how we feel in our inner world, in our body, in our mind, in our nervous system, and in our heart. So we're so used to, it's so automatic, myself included, especially earlier on in my codependence recovery, where I would get all these reflections like, you're so pretty, or you're so calm, or you're so smart, or you always say the right things, or you seem to have it all together. And I was in so many dysfunctional relationships, and I felt so unworthy, and I felt so ugly, and I was just holding it together. And even in those dysfunctional relationships, I tried so hard to not show how much pain I was in and how much I didn't like what the other person was doing. Putting on a mask and accepting it and dealing with it. I spoke up here and there. I attempted, but would completely acquiesce the second what I was saying wasn't heard. I'd go, okay, forget it. I'll just play along. And so I acted like the cool girlfriend, or the cool chick, or whatever it was. And it was an act. It was my traumatic identity. It was the person I played in life. But it wasn't who I was behind the scenes of my own eyes. And that is the codependent mask, where we either have our codependent mask just at work or just at home, or for some of us, it's everywhere. I have a lot of clients who are like, I'm great at work. I can say yes, I can say no, I can say maybe, I have boundaries, I love people, I have an open heart, there's a give and take. And then at home, it's like blocks. It's like energetic blocks. It's like pretending, it's ignoring, completely not feeling like one's authentic self at home, or vice versa between work and home, or in all places. But most importantly, for my overachievers, while that mask does you good, for a lot of us, it does us good. Well, it gets us through the day, it gets us achieving, it gets us making money, it gets us having things work throughout the day. It has us create the type of professional relationships that we need to make. And for some of us, some of my clients really super love their jobs, and that mask works for them. And that's really great and really important. And the place to look is, where and how is that mask stunting your growth? Where and how does that mask have either a twinge or more of dishonesty, of misalignment with yourself, and it's kind of like eating away at you. It's stunting your growth. It's like, if we don't change it at all, you'll be a high achiever for the rest of your life and everything will be fine. Great. Who are you when that mask is healed and that you are the authentic version of yourself in all areas? Who are you when that mask is a choice? So it's not so automatic. We can choose it. Certainly, ultimately, some of us don't ever want to have to ever wear a mask, right? But sometimes we just naturally have different identities with our nuclear family, with our partners, with our extended family, at work, when we're out socializing. We just naturally have different sides of us. And so when that mask can become simply an authentic, natural expression of who you are, as opposed to a mechanism to block off an entire section of yourself so that you can be operable. And for some of us, that mask is with our family, because we don't want to show a certain side of us, because if we show that side of us, then that relationship is not going to work, or we're going to be embarrassed, or we feel like we have to hide. Ultimately, the codependent mask is protection. And as we move along on our conscious codependence recovery journey, we begin to feel so safe in our bodies and in our nervous systems, no matter who we're with, that the protection is not necessary. It's not automatic, because a lot of these things are so automatic. It's our nervous system automatically being triggered into, they call it freeze. We could also call it fake. Freeze or fake. Fawn or fake. So what are the different masks that you wear? Which ones are you okay with? You're like, no, Cheryl, I'm okay with this particular mask. I'm cool with it. It's a side of myself that works and I like it and I don't want to get rid of it. Okay, great. So what are the masks that you are cool with? And what are the masks where you feel like it's so automatic that this mask comes over me in this particular relationship or in this particular situation, and I would really like for the mask in that particular situation to not take me over and hide my authentic self and autopilotly convince me that I need hiding or protecting or coddling, so that by this other persona or identity that comes out that tries to handle the situation. So, all right. So all of this, thank you for listening to my thoughts, theories, and rants, and we'll go over all of this more in depth in our free and monthly Conscious Codependence class that happens on Wednesday. The link to register for free is below. So usually what we do is we have our free and monthly Conscious Codependence class at the last week of every month, and usually that class is based on the previous Fridays with Fidelman. So, all right, have a wonderful weekend. I might not be in here too much for the next couple of weeks. I'll be away for the holiday, but happy healing. Thanks again for considering what I say and what I share. And all right, life is now.